It's different with Shanks. He's a hockey specialist.
There is no such thing as a fucking Haki Man. That is just a cope.
Hold on. I don't think Pain is too off from the mark. I do believe that a Haki Man exists. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sundays, the show where we talk about anime on Sundays. And I'm your host, Jared Ross. We have some very special guests today.
Hi, I'm AK, also known as your cool substitute.
Rob from Shonen Showdown.
Pari.
Today we will be breaking down what is a Haki Man. Stay tuned.
You're watching Anime Sundays.
So yes, today, as you've seen before, the meme video of Pain and Naruto talking about what is a Haki Man. The debate goes on. Many people are talking about Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. Shanks uses a sword technique and a Haki Man doesn't exist. But I disagree. I believe that a Haki Man does exist. To give you my definition really quick, I believe that a Haki Man is a character in One Piece, Haki Man or woman, who has paved the way to their goal through the strength of their Haki alone. So we're going to kind of break down, me and Rob, and our guests are going to comment as well. We're going to break down our current top 10 alive. This is not like a big in-depth of the top 10, but you're still getting me a sneak peek anyway because, you know, Rob is always changing his top 10, and I know everybody wants to know Rob's top 10. So you're getting a sneak peek anyway to Rob's top 10. But we're going to categorize those characters into either Haki Men, Devil Fruit Men, or Swordsmen. And this is where we'll really truly find out who is the strongest of the strong. Do you want to go first, bro?
You want me to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Man.
I'll go first. At 10, I still have Rayleigh. I still think Rayleigh is one of the most knowledgeable hockey users in the series. And because of that, I believe he deserves a place in this list. We know Rayleigh, his gangster. Don't worry about it. He has it handled.
Are we? No. I'm just gonna say, are we making this list assuming that Kaido and Big Mom have?
So we're assuming that Kaido and Big Mom are dead. Nobody really dies in One Piece. Above Rayleigh, I have Law. I do think Trafalgar Law is number 9. He's shown with his awakening that it's pretty serious out here. And I think his Devil Fruit is still top 3 Devil Fruits in the series. We don't know if he's dead or not, but I'm praying that Oda has saved our hearts the sorrow of watching Law go down badly. At number 8, I have Blackbeard. Bottom.
Oh wow.
Because I don't have time for this nonsense.
Oh, wow.
You Blackbeard fans need to be silenced.
You need to be taught.
I don't have any more room for the nonsense with Blackbeard. Barely any armament feats. 2 Devil Fruits, congratulations. I don't care. You're still getting packed up by Boa. I don't want to hear it. Moving on. Akainu at 7. Akainu. Here we go. Akainu. Sorry. Jack, I'm sorry. Akainu.
It sounds Hawaiian at that point.
I apologize. Your boy, Magma user. He's shown his good fair fighting. I think he deserves to be on this list. I have Garp. Wait, hold on.
Huh?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3,
Switch up?
4. I have Garp over Kano. Yes, me and Rob are arguing on live. I do have Garp over Kano just because of his hockey feat of Galaxy Impact.
Are we counting manga?
Yeah, we are talking about the manga. It's all manga spoilers. You know what it is, man. Just welcome to the channel. Because of his prime feats, I would imagine, since he's not sick and dying like Whitebeard, that he's still not far off. So I have Garp a little bit over Kano. Over Garp, I have Monkey D. Luffy over his grandfather.
Are we at 3 or 4 right now?
I have no idea. Let me see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. I have Luffy.
How many you put in, Jack?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait, I missed one. So it's fine. It's fine. Just backtrack. Below Rayleigh, I have Beckman. So I have Beckman. So now let's move the numbers up. Just shift the numbers up. It's fine. Y'all don't need to worry about it. I have Beckman. I just feel like if you're the vice captain of Shanks, you have to be top. Like, I couldn't imagine Beckman being weaker than any Straw Hat. Luffy over Garp, yes. The awakening is there. The hockey is there, the Conqueror's coding is there. Luffy cannot be slept on even before Gear 5. I feel like people are always sleeping on Luffy before Gear 5, and it's time to stop that. He showed you with the Kaido fight, he was there, so he got snuck by CP0, and yes, so boom. Number 3, Dragon. No feats, but that's fine. The leader of the Revolutionary Army, I couldn't imagine that he's trash. And then I have Mihawk, the greatest swordsman, and that's what we're really all here to talk about, right? Because we want to know, is Mihawk a Haki Man? We'll figure it out. And then Shanks at number 1. I have changed my answer from the previous video. At number 1 in the verse, I had Kaido before he died, but now I'm under the impression that Shanks may be number 1 due to the recent chapters with Kid. So that's my quick top 10. We're not gonna go into depth about it. If you want a video, me and Rob will do it later. You know, send me some money. I need some bread. Y'all. Rob.
Yeah.
Your top 10, please.
All right, I'm gonna go through real fast. I was definitely thinking about S-Hawk, but the ceiling might get a little higher, so I'm gonna leave S-Hawk off just for now. At 10, I have Sabo, named Emperor Sabo, Revolutionary Army. He's going crazy. Yes, I have Sabo. I think Sabo is elite. I do think he's top 10. Right above him at 9, I have Ben Beckman. I do have Ben Beckman. He did make Kizaru pause during the Marine Corps War. At 8, I have Old Man Rayleigh. Yes, he is old, but he can still box. He's still busy. All right.
He's also hot.
There you go.
At number 7, I have Akainu. I have the Fleet Admiral. I do think he is elite with having greatest offensive Delphus in the series. At 6, I have Blackbeard. I think Blackbeard will rise. I think if Blackbeard says boom, we will have to reconsider our top 10.
We'll have to come back to this. We'll have to come back to this.
I'm gonna have him at 6. At number 5, I have Monkey D. Garp. Galaxy Impact Garp. Old Man Garp. Box with Rocks, Roger, Whitebeard,
Shiki.
all back.
Everybody.
Shiki. Oh, come on now. The Haki is elite. I think he's there. At 4, I have Monkey D. Luffy. I think Gear Fit it speaks for itself. He has advanced Conqueror's Haki.
Conqueror's coding, everything.
At 3, I have Dragon, his father, for things you just stated. I think that can also change once we find out more about Dragon.
Yeah.
At 2, I have Dracula Mihawk, and right above him, I have obviously Red Hair Shanks. I've been saying this for over a year now that I believe Shanks is the strongest currently.
Shanks versus Mihawk.
Yes, ladies. I would like to hear y'all comments.
There's some though that I don't think we have enough context for. That it's just going to be shots in the dark.
I'm thoroughly surprised Dragon is that high on your list.
Yes.
We are definitely in the most recent chapters getting a lot more information about what his past is and like where he was in certain very big events that we are going to soon find out about. But I wouldn't have put him that high with the information we have about him. We don't know enough about him.
We're gonna organize these characters into Haki Men, Delphi Men, or Swordsmen. You may have a both category, but we're gonna break that down, and we're also gonna add some honorable mentions. We have on my list 4 honorable mentions: Roger, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom. I don't know what the hell I typed.
Yeah.
And Big Mom. We're gonna also categorize them as well. Is Beckman a Haki Man?
Yes, I believe so.
I believe Beckman's a Haki Man. We don't know any Delphi.
Let's just organize the facts first. What do we know about him? Because nothing is coming to mind.
Well, he's number 2, Shanks' crew. I believe he's older than Shanks.
What has he demonstrated
Well,
so far?
Kizaru froze, Film Red.
Well, so you have Film Red.
Are you counting Film Red? Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I would say I don't know if we want to count Film Red.
I think it's the dynamic that's important.
We can maybe. What I can say is obviously he did stop Kizaru.
Yeah.
Right. We speculated about what happened to Captain Kidd because we know that Captain Kidd confronted the Red Hair Pirates and he didn't even make it to Shanks. So people have theorized that Ben Beckman was the one that actually took his arm. Even if we get rid of all that, Ben Beckman, as long as we know, he knows about Shanks' future sight, observation Haki.
Yeah.
Which makes me believe that he has that Haki on that level to perceive what Shanks is doing right before
You're
his
thinking
very eyes.
Haki Man.
So I'm thinking, based off of him being Shanks' right-hand man, and even in an SBS, it was stated that he kind of is that 1A, 1B in relation to Shanks. He's our right-hand man. I think that he has to be somewhat of an approximation of a Shanks. So I think his Haki is on that level.
Yeah.
How would he have been able to do all of those things if he didn't have that level of hockey?
Well, what's interesting too is if you think about how Oda has written like the right-hand man, so like Zoro, Raleigh, like they don't have double fruit. So we definitely can't go off of that. And if we're assuming that the trend exists for Ben Beckman, you could say Haki, but then you could also, if you ever talk about Zoro, yes, he just got Conqueror's Haki, but a lot of what he is known for is swordsman.
If you want to talk about Zoro real quick, Zoro, I don't think Zoro's a Haki Man. I don't think Zoro.
he counts either.
I think he made it mostly through his swordsmanship. Even his Haki in general, even in Wano, he struggled a lot just to control Enma. So to me, it's like if you were Odin, there'd be no problem. You know what I mean? So we could talk about Odin too. Just throw him in there. I think Odin is a Haki man. You could say, well, Odin had these great swords and he did all these great things. But to him, it wasn't like that big of a deal. It was the sword of his father. He was like, whatever, I don't care. But what made Odin the way he was, what paved his rank, was how he handled Kaido with his Haki. When Kaido felt that scar, he was like, oh my God.
The power and the pressure, like the side stories of like that day, the city sunk an inch. It's like, that's just, that's not from swordsmanship. That's his like spiritual pressure that he, the Haki.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if you're Beckman, you're pulling with a gun, you're a Haki Man. There's no way. Logias are like, wait a minute, and you're not a Haki Man. Rayleigh is a Haki Man, even when I put him on my list. I mean, we know it.
Yeah.
Your boy taught Luffy everything he knows. So, and just in general, like, all the knowledge that we have about Haki is really from Rayleigh. So I would imagine he's a Haki Man.
He's like the Haki Man.
Yeah, he's a great sword user, but nobody, what sword does he have? The one he found in the shop? Back in the closet? Like, yes, Rayleigh, we know you're a Haki Man. Law, Delphi user for sure.
Yes.
Delphi user, not a Haki Man.
Not a swordsman, even though he does have
Not a
sword.
swordsman.
I'm gonna bring this point up, right? Because a lot of people in the One Piece community, they like to refer to this One Piece picture, right?
Right, the swordsman, right.
Oda cooked up in the lab, right? And they did happen to have Law's picture in there. So everyone's saying everybody that's in there is a swordsman. Shanks was in there, Mihawk was in there, and Law was in there. By that definition, he should be a swordsman.
Was
right?
Tashigi in there?
I don't believe so.
Because I would count her as a swordswoman. So maybe he's just noting the people that have notable swords.
I would think so, because that would help support the Shanks argument. If we
I wouldn't use that as a hard fact, but it's interesting.
Yeah, that was like kind of like that big thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that Law is more of a devil fruit user.
Absolutely. Law's Devil Fruit is for sure carried him.
What is the thing that brought them the farthest in life? Like, what is the reason they are winning the battles or getting farther in their storyline? It's Devil Fruit. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Law, definitely. Moving on. Akainu. Akainu is a Devil Fruit man. Akainu's a Devil Fruit man.
He boxes up against Haki, and his Haki supports his devil fruit, but it's definitely the powers.
You know, even though the other admirals, Kuzan, Kizaru, they would have not even made a dent, I feel like, in their marine lives if they didn't get Logias. I'm sorry, because we know of strong Marines. We know of Marines who have really done it with their Haki. Even if you don't count canon characters like Z or whatever, like he may be a canon character, what have you. Z is a prime example of admiral who was like, well, I still don't really need no devil fruit. You know what I mean? Like the Haki's there, but Kizaru, Kuzan, Akainu, especially the Logias they have, Ice, Magma, and Light. Those are like, come on, like you must have found the top 3 Logias in the verse. All right, moving on real quick. Garp, obviously a Haki Man. I mean the fist, hero fist. What is it called?
Yeah, Garp the Fist.
Garp the Fist.
Legendary hero.
Yeah, and I know the relying message is, well, everybody's a Haki Man. Well, here's the thing. Not everybody's a Haki Man. Because
I don't know if Garp would be a Haki Man.
Yes.
You know Luffy, if you're going by blood, right? And Luffy's punches in the beginning were always like bullets, like they were always that strong. And that was before Luffy even got to like the level of showing Conqueror's Haki. If Garp is just preternaturally built to that level of utility, not even including Haki.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
Garp, like a fourth category.
Yeah, if you change swordsman to just like utility category.
Well, I think Garp is still a Haki Man because, you know, anytime he hurt Luffy was with Haki. You have to remember, when he punished Luffy, when he raised him, Luffy was made out of rubber and he felt every hit. So Garp's Haki minimally.
Well, his rubber never meant he was impenetrable to pain. It just meant that like he was able to bounce back. And Garp threw cannonballs at him. None of those used Haki, but he propelled because you would have seen it in the aura, even if that was pre-time skip.
I'm always under the impression that we didn't see Haki pre-time skip because Luffy couldn't see Haki. So that was my impression.
And the latest manga chapter, we can't tell because it just shows an explosion.
I was gonna say I believe Garp is a Haki Man, and I think it was confirmed to me in Luffy's fight against Don Chinja. Because in that fight, Don Chinja talked to him and he spoke to him about what had happened in the past between him and Garp. And we know that Don Chinja was a great Haki user. We know he's a Conqueror's Haki user. And we know he used to have a pointy head that was able to destroy a mountain. And Garp
I don't
countered
think
that.
Garp has Conqueror's Haki.
With Galaxy Impact?
That's the truth. That's true though. We don't know if he has
It's
Conquerors.
speculation.
We don't know Conquerors, but I do think Garp wouldn't have made it that far if he wasn't a Haki Man because I feel like even if you're a young Marine,
because Luffy's Conqueror's Haki could be because of Dragon. Dragon isn't necessarily Garp's son.
Let me ask you, do you think Conqueror is inherited or do you think it is gained?
I think it can be both because if I look at Doflamingo, I think it's definitely gained for him. And then if I think of Luffy and Dragon, I think it can be inherited because they have a very strong bloodline. But if I look at Garp, when he boxed up against him in Marineford, when we see him terrorize his place, or when he goes up against the guy with the pointy head, there's something about people with Conqueror's Haki that they're doing something that has some kind of claim, conquering.
Right.
And we don't see Garp do that, and he has no motivation to join further into the leagues of the army.
Me personally, I don't think Mihawk or Garp has has Conqueror's Haki. Yeah, that's right. Put that on.
That's what
Put
I'm
that
saying.
on.
Like, I don't think he does, because otherwise it would have come forward to some degree. Dragon definitely does, Luffy does, but it doesn't mean by association Garp does.
See, for me, that's tough for me to believe, just because I don't think you can fight against a Roger or Whitebeard or Rocks.
I think you can though.
And contend without Conqueror's Haki.
Because Law doesn't have it.
Well, yeah, Law doesn't have Conquerors, but that's why, you know,
And
Kid
Mihawk,
does.
it's debatable.
You know what I'm saying? And Kid does. At least when you're
Zoro
looking at...
fought
What do you
so
think?
long without
Let's
Conqueror's
ask
Haki.
AK what she thinks. What do you
We
think
were
about
just
Garp?
mentioning Kid and Haki. I just think it's just hysterical because he's just such a waste. I am such a Kid hater. I'm so sorry. I
And
think
you should.
he's such a waste of I'm so a Devil Fruit user, so I'm not going to focus on spending any of my time learning Haki because it's true. Every single person has the ability to get Haki in their life. Whether or not they recognize that they're feeling it or that they can grow it is a different story. So having the conversation about like Dragon passing it down to Luffy, yeah, it can be inherited, but it also depends on like the person and the journey they go on. Kid is a great example of someone who just was like, nah, I got a great Devil Fruit, and then guess how that.
So what do you think? What do you think about Garp? Do you think Garp is a Haki man?
Yeah, I do. Again, it's one of those things where if he is this far in his journey of being like then.
But you could say the same for Zoro. He went so far.
Yeah, but he's not punching an entire
before he got
island
Conqueror's
of people
Haki.
using whatever
But
that
Garp
shit
could
was.
be around that level where he's just possibly about to
Back and
get
forth?
it, but he never has the ambition to achieve Conqueror's Haki.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've seen him try to use it, and he's not good at it. Like, in those chapters that we've seen, and in the animation of him trying to use it, you can see him physically struggling, trying to figure out how to utilize it. Not knowing if Garp has it doesn't allow us to say he doesn't know how to use it. I have seen actual evidence that Zoro does not know how to fully use his Haki yet, which makes me think he would not be considered a Haki man, which doesn't mean that we can say that Garp isn't a Haki man. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the only other reason I would support Garp potentially having Haki is because of Kobe. Because if his apprentice has it,
number two.
Well, what we're talking about here is how far have you come with your Haki, right? I just think most of his career is based on Roger, so I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Moving on, Luffy is a Devil Fruit man. I believe Luffy has made his way through his pirating career through his Devil Fruit.
Yeah.
Now, yes, his Haki now is absolutely astounding, absolutely. But without that gum fruit, and especially that awakening, that boy wouldn't be in the 7 feet under. That boy is not making it through most of the battles that he has.
All of his power-ups rely on his Devil Fruit. If they were achieved through Haki alone, we'd have a very different story.
Yes, he's learning, he's doing well, and he's shown that his Haki can contend. And maybe if we get another 5 years of Luffy being the Pirate King or something, sure.
There are tools in the toolbox now. Armament there to protect, observation to see. But what's actually driving the fight? It's the gum fruit, and especially the way he used it, because we know Luffy's not the brightest. Definitely made it this far with his Devil Fruit, and even now, that's literally what is the reason we have him in this list is because of that awakening. Dragon. There's been speculation about Dragon having a Devil Fruit. Some storm, weather, things going on here. What do you think, Rob?
I can't confirm it, so I don't know where I would put him. I've heard about the weather fruit that people, or the storm fruit that people have been talking about. Obviously, that's all theory. So until we know more, Dragon trained Sabo. If you want to know anything about Dragon,
Sabo's Haki is not light. Sabo's Haki is not light.
Because even Sabo has a move in his arsenal called Dragon Claw. Look at Sabo and just say, okay, this is a diet dragon. Okay, like this is somebody that we can look and say, all right, we're seeing a little bit of dragon influence in his moveset. If his Haki is elite, if they're calling Sabo the Flame Emperor, his Haki is up there, then you can look at Dragon and say, okay, you're a super version of this. At minimum.
If you look at his personality, he's striven enough to have formed the whole rebellion without using a Devil Fruit as a crutch. I think he would have started it without the Devil Fruit, with the abilities of the Haki, and then eventually found a powerful Devil Fruit, and then made it his own, and then made his force stronger. But he's too motivated internally.
You talking about Dragon or Sabo?
Yeah, Dragon. He's too motivated internally to be like, I'm gonna start a rebellion just because I have a Devil Fruit. That doesn't make sense for his character. It has to come from him. So the only way that could happen is if he was a good fighter with really strong Haki.
Dragon could definitely probably go in the both category. We don't know his history yet. When we get it, we'll figure out how he really made his way.
Venn diagram.
Mihawk. Rob, I'm gonna say this one time.
Okay.
Mihawk's Haki, mediocre. No, I'm just kidding. Here's my thing. Mihawk
shit.
Well, here's the thing. So when we first did the top 10 list, I had Mihawk at 7. I had Mihawk very low because I always felt that we had enough feats for Mihawk to see that he's not top 3. We've seen him fight in the war. We've seen what he said about Shanks. We've seen Zoro's. We have a good level, good balance. But because of that, you got Jozu blocking attacks. Everybody is showing that Mihawk is not Shanks.
And that attack was intended for Whitebeard.
For Whitebeard.
By the way.
There's always that banter that Shanks and Mihawk have to be one over the other because Mihawk is still the strongest swordsman. Obviously he's a swordsman. We're gonna say Mihawk has made his way through a swordsman feat. We don't know about the Black Blade theory yet. We got all crazy types of theories, all types of crazy theories. I have a theory. Rob's got a theory. I got a theory that the Black Blade. Well, here's my breakdown on Black Blades real quick. Either Mihawk is continually pouring Haki into the Black Blade 24/7, even when he's asleep, which would make him probably the greatest character in the show. Or the man used Haki on his sword to a point to where he permanently made it black, and either A, that was the peak of his Haki, or B, he has kept up that peak, but it's hard to kind of say because the man doesn't train.
You could also put a theory out there that maybe black swords just hint consumption.
Over time, yeah, I was gonna say that too, over time. So yeah, that as well.
So where would that put Ryuma?
So that's the thing I was gonna say about Ryuma too. Ryuma still lost to Kaido. He was still capturing him. He broke out short. I think the blade is a very specific sword thing. Like, I think that it comes from your sword skills more than your Haki skills. Even though Haki is what makes it black. I think it's a technique. I think it's like a training regiment or something. Obviously, I'm just shooting in the dark. You know, swords have spirits and shit. You know, souls and shit. There's a lot of things that go into the swordsmanship. So there's a lot of factors that separate swordsmen from
do you
Haki
think
Men.
he has Haki, period?
Yes, absolutely. He definitely has Haki. I don't think he has Conquerors. Yes, he probably has advanced Haki. But I don't think the blade turned black because of the power of his Haki. I think it came from the skill of his swordsmanship. But I still think that if it was the Haki, why isn't Roger's sword black? Why isn't Whitebeard's staff black as hell? Why isn't anybody else?
Special forging.
You know?
I don't think you can rely on that as your metric.
Even when Zoro was doing stuff like, because when you break down swordsmanship, even Zoro back in the day and when he fought Daz, Mr. One, and he cut the leaf, but he didn't cut the leaf. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. You cut steel, but you ain't cut the leaf. There's more to the swordsmanship in One Piece than we really know about. And I think that's what Oda's trying to really throw in there, right? Because as we get to our mentions, we'll talk about them too. Do we think they're Haki Men? Do we think they're swordsmen? But
I
yes.
think when it comes to Mihawk or any swordsman in the show, I think the level of skill is what gets you pretty much 80% there. I think the Haki is kind of what sharpens your blade. I think it gets you that 20%.
At the top of the list, we have Shanks. Shanks is the Haki Man right now.
Yeah.
I always have this like theory, like who trained Shanks? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people say Rayleigh did it. A lot of people say he may just be experienced. But, you know, Roger disbanded the crew after they got to Raftel, and Shanks didn't even make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I mean, we know he's a Haki Man. Like, obviously, you don't see 5 minutes into the future.
I pay heed to the theory that he is the son of the Rock Pirates, the captain of the Rock Pirates.
Rocks.
Because of the notions that Roger said, oh, it's been a long time since we had a baby on board. They're indicating that it's possibly Shanks. So if he's the son of somebody who's like the Rock Pirates, then that means high level of Haki. Definitely doesn't use the Devil Fruit. We haven't seen that. And I wouldn't count his swordsmanship because we've seen him go up against Whitebeard. And what he used was Haki.
He can swim.
His whole prior claim to fame was I was a rival to Hawkeye Mihawk for swordsmanship before I lost my arm. So for you to go ahead and say he's not a swordsman, that is literally alluded to in the beginning that he is in fact a swordsman. Here's my thing though. He just now does Haki because he got one arm.
Here's my thing though, but it's the same thing.
Hawkeye Mihawk, so I don't even play with you anymore because you got one arm.
Well, as we get into our honorable mentions too, like Whitebeard and Roger and them, I believe that Whitebeard's a Haki Man. I believe that Whitebeard's a Haki Man.
The strongest man.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people may say that Whitebeard's a Devil Fruit Man because as soon as he got the Quake Fruit, the world was like, hold on, this motherfucker right here. We may have a serious problem. But I'm under the impression that if you're fighting Roger every other day, you have to be a Haki Man. There's no way.
When it comes to Whitebeard, I think you're getting everything. I think you're getting top tier Haki.
So the both.
And top tier Devil Fruit.
Both category.
Yes. I think Whitebeard.
Yo. Give him that real quick. Hentai Showdown.
We're gonna give him a dap up. Whitebeard gets a dab.
Like you said, I don't think he can contend with a Roger. He does not have the Haki that is equal or somewhere like in the ballpark of a Roger. But at the same time, he does have one of the most destructive devil fruits in the series, which is why Blackbeard went through extreme lengths to get his hands on it.
But if you say Roger, right, and we know Roger is a Haki Man, and you say that Whitebeard is also a Haki Man, and he has an incredibly powerful devil fruit, then he should have been able to beat Roger. I think you have to like stack his power a little bit just in order to make it comparable. Otherwise, if you kind of put Haki to that level, even though it is scalable, he would be the most undefeated character.
Well, Whitebeard is referred to as Roger's equal, so it's not that one is better exactly. They cancel each other out. So probably through Haki.
Yeah, but what she's saying is though, because they cancel each other out because he has a devil fruit. So
yeah,
like
so it's gotta be
a
like,
little different. It's a little different. Like Roger's Haki is probably stronger than Whitebeard's.
And that's what I was gonna say. If we're looking at Roger and even Shanks, I think they are among the greatest conquerors Haki, specifically users that we've ever seen. Even though Whitebeard has an incredible devil fruit, and even though I do think Whitebeard has great conquerors and all these things, obviously he definitely needed it. I don't think his conquerors Haki was on the level of Roger's.
Yes, that's why I say he's a devil fruit user, because Oda gave him the Quake fruit, and Japan Sphere of Earthquakes, that level of that fruit is already so OP that to say he's a Haki Man on top of it, and to put all that energy there, it really negates the level of the fruit. Wait, so we gotta reel back to Shanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shanks is a Haki Man.
Shanks is a Haki Man.
He can swim.
His future sight for like a minute.
Yeah,
Like,
Shanks is a Haki Man. Shanks is a Haki Man.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, he's got it.
Like if it was a chart of like all the Hakis, he would
Yeah,
peak on
I would
all
say
of them.
Whitebeard could be a both, but it is tough.
Would he be weaker if I said, boom, your Haki's done, or boom, your devil fruit's gone?
Very
I
good
think
question.
he would be weaker if he took his devil fruit
I do
because of
think
how
so,
OP.
too.
Because that's considered one of the most powerful ones.
Yeah, but you see him and Roger clash physically, so it's like
But
his physicality is still at a
yeah, oh yeah,
saying,
he's
Whitebeard-
swole boy.
Whitebeard-
Boy, 10 feet 3. The boy, like, you know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, if you also take, we haven't even discussed this, but his son, which we like, is
We-
debatable. Is
He got a
that even
son?
so?
Yeah, well, that's known though. That's known though.
It's like,
Well,
I
you're
don't
almost
know.
there. You're almost there. You're
Well,
almost there.
It's still an unknown.
We don't know.
But
We
if
don't
we
know.
do use his son has a really high physicality. He's really strong. Is he close to where Whitebeard is, or is he more strong where we know other strong characters to be? I think he's where other characters are.
Right.
Hence why I think the
So
devil
fourth
fruit
category,
came up.
do you have hands? Right? Are you just can you fight? You know what I mean?
I
Without
would put
Haki,
Garp
without
in
devil
that one.
fruits, and that's where you would put Garp.
Yeah,
You would
I
put
would
him in the
Garp.
boxing category instead of the Haki Man
I
category.
might even put Ben Beckman there.
Even Ben too. Well, I feel like if you have a gun, you have to be
what
shooting
category is
Haki bullets.
This is
a mini category. Can you fight without a Haki, a devil fruit, or a sword?
And be top 10? Hell no.
Well, does that make you a Haki Man? We don't know of Garp's marine career. I think Garp's a Haki Man.
You
But
have-
Perry
We
says-
don't know anything about Dragon.
We don't know anything
either.
about Dragon.
He's
Well, that's why I'm like, Dragon could be a devil fruit user. We all know. We all know. Well, we know. You know, Dragon could be top 5 devil fruit users for all we goddamn know.
And I'm excited to find
Whitebeard.
out.
Since we're going there, I'm gonna say that Whitebeard, I think, is a devil fruit man. I think that Whitebeard's world's strongest man title would not come if he didn't have the Quake fruit.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna introduce a little twist there. Is that you can say it's because of the fruit for 100% the reason why. Because tsunami is the greatest natural catastrophe. It's not like a common.
Right.
But it's also the fact of his political power in terms of how many pirates. his
Yeah,
army.
absolutely.
When he died, the whole world changed. So
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
the things.
He's a heart man. That's what he is at heart.
Heart
He's
man.
a heart
Family man.
He's
He's a family man.
It's why I
Family
love
man.
him
And
so
nothing
much.
is more scary.
Family.
Nothing's more strong than a
Family.
Family.
Let's talk about Big Mom. Is Big Mom a hockey woman?
Yes.
Really?
Wait, no. Devil fruit.
Devil fruit, really?
Yeah.
Okay. When did Big
I
Mom
don't
get her
think
devil
she's
fruit?
a
We don't
devil-
know.
No. We know when she got her devil fruit. When she
From
ate everybody.
When she ate everybody, right?
So I don't think she was more powerful because she like already started Elbath. She was starting fights in Elbath when she was a child.
Yeah.
She was causing chaos just for food.
Yeah.
Before she even got her devil fruit, right?
Yeah.
So is it OP? Oh yeah. To be able to steal life
Yeah,
force,
yeah.
super OP. But is that her power when she
Yeah,
can
I
rival
don't think.
giants?
Yeah, I don't think
I was
she's
gonna say,
a devil
is she
fruit
a
woman.
hawk user or is she hands?
I think she's hands.
Boxer?
I think
Well,
she's hands.
she does have conquerors.
But that's like the
But
little.
beforehand, was
the
that something that's
conquerors-
driven her whole life, or is it the fact that she's just a
Well, I think if you
think
show
she's just a
show
tank.
conquerors at age 10, or whatever it was.
Is that when she first showed it?
Conqueror's Haki, I think, is something that
with
they
the
just
giants.
need to have with emperors. So she just had to show it at some point to be able to claim emperor status.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that would not make sense with the other League of Emperors. But is she just, like you said, a tank? I think that's the case. I think
she's
just a
definitely
tank.
in the boxer category. Like
I think she's
I think
the
Big
boxer.
I think Big Mom's durability is like top 2 in the verse. Like there's nobody like I'm still under the theory that Big Mom's still alive. Me personally, but I would say she's probably Devil Fruit and boxer category. I would put her in both.
I would put her heavy boxer, just so
Heavy
she can go
both?
up against giants.
Yeah.
She's a devil fruit. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so?
I
You
think
think
she
you
is.
think the soul fruit has
I
paid
think-
Big Mom's weight?
I honestly.
She boxed
when you look-
Elbath before she
I
got that
think-
fruit.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not saying that she wasn't strong before she got the fruit. What I'm saying is, I think the fruit elevated her game to like now she's Big Mom. She's, you know what I'm saying. Before it was Charlotte Linlin. Now she's Big Mom, and I think when we're looking at Whole Cake and how everybody, literally the entire land is based off her devil fruit.
But
You
that's
look at
control.
Nami. Nami
That's
took
control.
Zeus, and now Nami has
No,
elevated.
But control, we were saying, like, at the end of the day, we say, Whitebeard, he's a family man. She's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Having that intense control using your devil fruit, I think, is good to know. That fear that she's installed because of her devil fruit, to be able to take a life force from someone, life force is it. You're done at that.
I think she would be able to get to this level without using the devil
devil
fruit. Is such a
fruit?
smart way of controlling her kingdom. If the devil fruit actually took away power with it, like if she took your life force and she took your power, then I would say, oh yeah, that.
I
means a
definitely can see
different
it
level.
both. Big Mom without a devil fruit, I think she would still become Big Mom.
I think she would
she's still. She
still-
may not have as
I don't
many
think she has an
lackeys.
island of people who are literally
Yo.
being.
You don't think so?
You have to
Well,
look at her. Look at.
With
when
her
she
story as a child, where they were trying to sell her off or use her for her ability alone as a child, that already set her up as a character that was going to be that strong. So the devil fruit, it's a nice little sprinkle to describe how another emperor runs their country, but is it truly the reason that she's powerful? I think she'd be able to get there without it. She was a rock pirate, she was that strong, and she's a woman who's making babies and growing her empire that way.
She'd be fucking.
The soul fruit
Well,
was
yeah.
another little addition to all that, but
Get hers.
I think she would have landed those men, grew that family, grew that village with the power of her strong family without the devil fruit.
That's interesting. I think, it's definitely
The power
very
of
even on
pussy.
both sides. I'm gonna say both, just to be safe. And I think the only character we have left, Roger. I mean, we know Roger's a Haki Man. He really probably don't even need a sword. We probably just had it just for fun, because all pirates have it.
It's just kind of a cool look.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool look. I mean,
domain expansion.
yeah. Well, y'all, you have it there. We have successfully put my top 10 and, just who we feel the top 10 characters in One Piece are alive right now into their categories. Devil Fruit Man, Haki Man, and Swordsman. Y'all let us know in the comments who we missing.
What about Boa? I would definitely say
I think Bo's a Devil Fruit
devil
woman.
fruit.
Devil
But
Fruit woman.
she can box.
Yeah, she can box. Listen, there's a lot
Like
of
the
Devil Fruit
movie
users who
where
can
she,
box.
like, takes down a giant.
Listen.
with a kick.
There's a lot of folks that can, even Robin, she can box.
But Robin's heavy devil fruit.
They have different, but I'm saying there's a lot of characters who.
But Boa hand.
Oh no, Boa
box.
can actually beat a couple. Well, she did train. Amazon Lily ain't no hoe.
Yeah.
Those girls train you for sure. There's a lot of characters in the series who you can put in different categories. We just took the 10.
Shanks is a Haki Man.
Shanks is a Haki Man. Haki Men do exist.
Prove that video wrong.
Yes, Shanks is a
Alright.
Haki Man. And with that, we'll see y'all next Sunday. See y'all later.
Not a Haki Man.
Right.